Hello everybody, welcome back, and I know it has been a while, probably about 3 weeks, maybe, well, I think it's coming along a month since my last update on the tank, so quite a few things have happened with the tank. I've been doing a little bit of sorting around with the tank, bit of cleaning up, and we've had some serious growth with some particular corals, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So I'm going to overview the whole tank, what's been going on. So I don't want this video being too long. I've got quite a few things to cover, so let's try and keep it under 10 minutes if we can. So let's jump straight into it. Alright, so I'm going to go through a few corals that have been doing particularly well past month or so. So coming down here, we have the pink hystrix. This is one of my favourite corals in the tank. It's got really nice colour and a really nice growth pattern. There's another bit at the top there as well. So you may notice from the previous video before this, quite a while back, this coral wasn't nearly as big as this. It's definitely showed some really huge growth and definitely coloration as well. It's definitely a lot more pink than what it was a while ago. But this is spiking up loads. You can see all these stalks, all these new spikes, even on the ones at the top, really spiking up. That's a really good sign that it's growing. Another one would have to be this blue digitata down here. It's quite hidden away, but it won't be soon because this is really starting to grow and erupt up. If we look through here, you can see all those 3 stalks that are coming up. They're all branching out, not lovely. This one's got some really nice colour as well. It's got a really nice blue to it, which isn't an often colour you see on corals. So this is again one of my favourites, and it definitely will be a lot nicer once it gets a bit bigger, which won't be long because this is probably the second most grown coral in the tank at the moment. If we go more centered, we got an elkhorn. That's doing really well. Color's really good. It's got a really nice bright green to it. This has a really interesting growth pattern as well. It grows very randomly. Anyway, this one's growing really fast. It has been for quite a while now, and it's getting to a decent size, which is good. Another one as well, the red digi. This has gotten pretty big. See all these new spikes coming off. It's based out pretty nicely, so it's starting to get loads of spikes lifted off, similar to the pink hystrix coral down here. This one's doing really well. Again, one of my favourites because the red isn't an often coral you see. Most corals are green, like this kind of green, maybe that kind of green, that's that kind of green, Poslepora, but to see some reds and pinks, it's really nice. To see them nice and big, you don't see that often. And weirdly enough, this Aquapora, which is probably not one of the corals I would have think that would do particularly well, but it is actually branching. You see all those stalks coming up. That's really good sign of growth, and the colour is slowly but surely coming back. It's still a little bit browned out, but this again, like the blue digi, should look quite bluish purple, kind of colour, like a violet-ish colour once it's got its colour fully back. And this one as well, this is another Aquapora. This, when I introduced it into the tank, I thought it was a Montipora encrusting kind of coral because it didn't have any branches on it. It was just flat like this red Monty down here, but now it's got some branches coming off it. I didn't even know it was an Aquapora. I thought it was a Montipora when I put it in because it had no branches and it was just encrusting, which you can see it has done a little bit on the rock there, which is good. But I think it's finished with its encrusting stage and it's now starting to branch up, which is really nice. Because this looks like it's going to be a nice coral as well. It's got like a nice greenish yellow to it, which is really nice. 3 corals though that I haven't had much luck with for quite a while now is plating Montiporas. This red one down here, I've also got a green one down there, and the purple one, which is doing the worst out of actually all the corals in the tank. It's near enough dead actually, is the purple. That's supposed to be purple, but it's quite white, but it's still got a purple hint to it, so I've placed it nice and high up in the light and the flow to try and give it its best chance of recovery. But yeah, they haven't really grown much. The colour's there apart from that one, but the red and green look decently nice, but they're not really growing much. I guess they're kind of low in the tank, not getting a whole lot of light, but I would have thought they would have shown some kind of growth. I guess we'll kind of just wait and see. But recently, it's those 3 corals haven't been growing much at all. And another pair as well, again from the same species, Millipora. I've never grown Millipora. This has been the same. This is green. It's the green millie. And it's spaced out a little bit. You can see it's encrusted a tiny bit, and then it kind of just stopped and gave up. And it's quite white now, and the polyps aren't extended. And I've also got a pink one at the back. You can see if I zoom in. That's supposed to be pink, and it doesn't look pink at all. All the fish are doing pretty well. All the wrasses are always active. As you can see, they're always out swimming about, desperate for food. They are quite greedy, especially this female clown as well. This is a very greedy fish, kind of hugging this intake pipe, which both of them always do. Clownfish I've always found are quite strange. The blue damsel kind of just hovers about, you know, comes out every now and then, just hovers under caves and stuff. The algae blenny kind of just jumps from rock to rock. Again, very greedy. Picks at rocks all the time, eating any algae, which I've still got this red algae, which I've had on the rocks for quite a while now, quite some months. But it doesn't bother me that much because I actually quite like it. It's a nice colour. It does bring out a little bit of life to the rocks. Looks more like reef rocks instead of them just being like bare. So I do actually quite like the red algae. But anyway, I'm pretty sure he eats it because he's always picking at it and stuff. There is a job though that I want to do with this tank, and I might do it some point this month. I've got quite a lot of things to do with this tank this month. There's a few things I want to sort out with that filter as well. I'll get to that in just a minute. It's the sand bed. It's quite a bit of a mess. I haven't pumped through it or cleaned it out in, well, the last time was when I put this new scape in, which was ages ago. And it's got, you can see, look, I don't even know that. I think there's pink hystrix somewhere. There's bits of coral like just scattered about. It's a little bit red, you can see, bit of diatoms down here, quite brown. There's bits in it, bits of rock and rubble, especially this corner's the worst. I don't know why. Look at all that. That's so messy. I want to clean it out. So I want to puff through it. I want to try and siphon. I might do it during a water change, I think. Yeah, it's a job that does need doing every month or two or so, but it's been quite a while now and it's gotten quite messy, and I do want to sort it out. I'll probably do a video on it as well, so that might be this month, maybe next month at the latest. But the other job with the filter is that's been running for quite a while now, and the return pump in it is probably I don't know what it looks like, but I need to get in there on the next water change and clean it out, because it has been quite a few months running that, and it's probably gotten quite dirty inside, and I don't want that stopping. Probably take quite a while for it to stop, but just to be safe, I'm going to give that a bit of a clean next time I'm inside of it. Also, the skimmer could use a little bit of a clean out as well, the return pump mainly. The cup still isn't really taking out a whole lot. That's been, well, I cleaned it out the other day. I still clean the neck out on that, but it doesn't take out a whole lot out of the tank, which is a good thing, because the parameters of the tank aren't complaining. Nitrates are at 0, like literally there's no nitrates in there. I tested them just about 3 or 4 days ago, I think, and yeah, there's 0. Phosphate 0.05, which is slightly elevated, but again, the tank isn't complaining about it. Algae is very limited. Corals are doing great. They're all open and happy, most of them pretty colourful and doing well. So I would prefer it a little bit lower, but the tank's doing great with 0.5. So if it goes any higher, then I will start, maybe adding some Roaphos to the filter and carbon dosing it. But it's not at that stage yet, so I'm going to leave it a little bit longer and see what it does. Alkalinity has stayed pretty stable at around in between 8 and 8.5, which is good, but it's stayed like that from day one of this tank. It's never really gone below 8 ever, and it's never gone higher than 9, so that's all stable. Alkalinity is quite easy to maintain though, but this tank isn't really sucking down that much because I haven't got a ton of growth yet, at least. The corals are growing a little, but they're not consuming that much, so when they drop below 8, then I put a bit of dosing on. I dose like maybe 10 ml of alk. But yeah, parameters are all stable. Fish are all happy. Corals are doing well. Just a few jobs with the sand and the filter. Backwall could use a bit of a clean. Wave pumps are a bit dirty. Just the shell of them. The inside would probably be alright, but might as well give them a clean when I next have them out. The Zoa rock is slowly, well, actually quite quickly. They are soft corals, so they will grow fairly quickly. It is growing. There is quite a lot of zoas covering this area. This blenny kind of chills out on top of this rock quite often as well. annoyingly shooting the polyps in. So to conclude, it's been a month, and yeah, a few things have happened. Quite a lot of growth. Only positive things have happened with the tank, which is good. Tank's on track, it's where it should be. I just want to get some corals growing a little bit more, try and get them a little bit more growing. We just need to give the tank a little bit more time, but I do need to do a few maintenance jobs on the tank, which I'll get to doing over the next few weeks. For the next video, I do want to do, maybe not next, I don't know, I'm not too sure yet, but maybe next video I might do a video on my dad's tank, which I haven't done in quite a few months. I do one every couple of months or so, but it's been quite a while, and that tank's been through quite a lot since then, so it would be good to do an update on that as well, possibly next week, if not the next week, the week after. So I'm going to stop the video here. I know, quite a long one, apologise for that, but I did have quite a bit to cover since it's been so long. So thank you all who have watched this video. I will see you next week with another update either on this tank, if not my dad's tank, very shortly. So I will see you then. Bye.